And so if you find yourself in a predicament where, God, I don't know what to do concerning this relationship, I don't know how to move forward, then we can ask God very plainly, God, what is the next step for me? How do I navigate this? Because I'm not sure. And I wanted to share an example of, where I've had to really ask Holy Spirit what to do recently. And I don't necessarily share on this topic often. I don't share on it in great detail because it's not something that is completely resolved. It's not an area where I'm completely confident in the outcome. I have no idea what God is going to do. And that's my relationship with my biological father. And I'm not going to go into the details of how we met and all of that right now. But long story short, our relationship at this point is, I would say, estranged. In the past, we would have seen each other when he would visit, and that would be it. We see each other when he visits, and he goes back to his life. I would go back to mine. And that's been going on for about the past 5 or 6 years. And I never really thought about if that's what I wanted. I never thought about if, our relationship as it was satisfactory to me. I never thought about how it may have been affecting me. I just accepted it. It just was what it was. Until one morning I woke up and Holy Spirit began to tell me, he's like, this relationship is hurting you. And if any of you know or have struggled with being vulnerable or being open or sharing the vulnerable parts of yourself, you would know how hard it is to really admit to yourself or to anyone else when you're hurt by something, when you're feeling rejected, when you're feeling hurt, when you're feeling like you're not good enough. And when it comes to my relationship with my biological father, that is the overarching feeling for me. Feeling inadequate, feeling as if, I'm never going to have the type of relationship with him that I've wanted. But I recognize I don't have any control whatsoever over how this relationship pans out. Well, as much as it comes to his interaction with me, I can't control it. I can't make him talk to me more. I can't, demand more from him. But what I can do is limit the access that he has to me, because I recognize that this, as it is now, it's harmful. Every time we have these encounters and, we hang out or whatever, and he goes back, it was as if I was mourning this relationship over and over again. And so when someone dies and you mourn them, it's absolute. It's as if, listen, I lost a few family members. And so the grieving process is always something that has made me think really, really deeply. It's always something that I'm intrigued by, because it's like, God, I don't even understand. I don't understand grief. It's like one moment you think of them and there's this joy and this happiness because, they were this amazing person. And then in another moment, you see a food that they used to like, and it's like the waterworks start and you're falling apart, and grieving is absolutely insane. There's no line, like there are no steps. It's not something that you can control. But here I was putting myself in a position not just to grieve once, but to grieve after every single encounter that I had with my father, because the relationship wasn't what I wanted, but I just settled for what it was. And as a child of the King, as a woman of faith, I am taught better than that. I am taught exactly who I am in Jesus. And the thing is, nobody gets shift my understanding of self, not even him. As much as I absolutely believe that he's one of the greatest men I've ever met, I have to be honest with myself about my capacity for our relationship, and I don't have it. I'm not in the place where I can accept our relationship as is without it being extremely painful for me. I'm not in a place where I'm able to walk away from our encounters without going into a season and a time of mourning. I'm not in that place. I'm not there. I don't have it. I don't have the capacity for that. And it's really hard for me to even admit that, if I'm honest. It's hard for me to say, I can't do this. And, having to share that with him. And he was, of course, really understanding. He understood exactly where it was I was coming from. But being in a position where I can't handle something is difficult for me. And that is just one of those moments and one of those times where I have to, give this to Holy Spirit, because I don't have the answers. I don't have the language for what it is that I'm experiencing. All I know is this is really, really hard for me, and I need you to tell me what to do. And luckily for me, Holy Spirit was extremely clear in giving me instructions concerning the next leg of our relationship. And I followed those instructions. And even though I did not get the outcome that I ultimately want, I do have peace, because I understand that I can be honest about where I'm at right now, and it does not diminish my value. It does not make me it does not mean that I'm not mature enough. It does not mean that I'm not growing in God. It means that, you know what, right now, right in this space that I'm in, I can't do that. I can't do that. And that's absolutely okay. I know for some of us, there are other relationships that we want to cultivate, and you feel like you've done the work. I've done the work to be healthy enough for this. I've done the work to be able to have healthy friendships and to have a romantic partner. And God is saying, no, not now. And you don't understand it. But the beauty of it is, and the thing that has helped me, especially during this last decision, was this: God knows me better than I ever will. He knows my father better than he ever will, and better than I will ever be able to. And so if he says that this is the thing to do, regardless of what logic tells me, regardless of what past experience may tell me, I can trust his voice over anything else. And so when we are assessing relationships, it is my desire for you to leave here with the understanding that you can trust God no matter what else anybody told you. No matter what you're feeling, no matter what you're experiencing, you can trust him with the outcome. So whatever instruction God may be giving you right now in terms of your relationships, in terms of, maybe having to create distance, or maybe having to begin new relationships, you can trust him. God is not trying to harm you. He is not trying to hurt you. He is always, always in the business of loving us. He loves us well. And so we can trust that when we are connected to him and our relationship with him is thriving, he will take care of everything else. Every need that we have, every desire that we have, he's already aware of it. And he's already made provision to meet those needs, like we would have said last week. Yes, Charisse, we do have to know our capacity and be honest. And I had to eat my own words and take my own advice last week. And so I know when Holy Spirit is doing a thing, because he always brings it to me in a way where I have to apply it. And I did. I had to think back on those things and really be honest. And I didn't like it. I did not like it. It was not fun, but I'm grateful that I have Holy Spirit to lead and to guide me in all.